My name is Joezer and this is my video for Art110. This is my vlog for project number 3, the reading of Eli and Franco. At first the book was kind of confusing. I couldn't understand it, but after I read it for a while I was able to understand it. So in the end I liked the book. It was not too bad. In the book it talks about Luther Blissett, and Luther Blissett was like a multiple name of person or name that could be like used by anyone or anybody. Like it was launched in 1994, led to like the creation of like a vast network of people, musicians, artists, writers, activists, and other people, and who all use like the same name. And Franco had like called up Luther because he needed like credible bibliography to make a fake artist, and Franco used like the Luther Blissett to invest in like invent his fake artist. And the name of the new fake artist was Darko Maver. And Darko Maver was a fake artist made up of by Iwan and Franco. And like Iwan and Franco had like come across a site called Rotten.com, and this is how like Darko Maver pretty much came about. They used like the really graphic and gruesome pictures from Rotten.com to make mannequins. They made mannequins and they made stories. They wanted to make like real stories of Yugoslavia war, like that lasted for a decade. Like they wanted to make those stories, the real stories from Yugoslavia war, like even more horrific than they already were. So they used the pictures from like Rotten.com the real horrific looking mannequins. Like they made mannequins horrific looking by pouring acid on them, and they would like take pictures of it, and then they would make stories to go along with the creepy, gruesome pictures, hoping that people would like believe their stories of Darko Maver. While I was reading the book, like questions like what could be called art, and can artwork be given away for free? Should art be stopped from like being shared? And who can be an artist? Like questions like those aroused in my mind while reading the book. And Ivan Franco like used to go to like museums, and like after they used to go to the museum, they used to steal like bits and pieces of like famous works of art from museums and like store them in the black box they had in their living room. They used to like steal fragments, and like sometimes they used to steal like bigger recognizable pieces. And like every time they stole from like museums, they'd like record like when they stole it and what they stole and like all the bits and pieces. And like I believe like the Eva and Franco used to like steal stuff like because they felt like why should the art be only used in museums or like in the houses of rich people? Like everyone deserves to have works of art, whether they're poor or like whether they're rich. Like everybody should have like a piece of art. The art should not be like kept private. It should be like shared with everybody. Everyone should be allowed to see art, to feel art, and to touch art. And like even Franco like made fake movies and fake newspapers to show how gullible people are. Like even Franco proved to people how strong influence media has like on lives of people today. Like everybody believes in news nowadays. Nobody questions the news. And media has like a lot of power. They can pretty much make people believe like anything. Even Franco always pretty much liked to steal stuff and like he steal people's identity. So they pretty much decided to the Nike sponsors movie. They pretty much decided to do the Nike sponsor thing. They pretty much decided to make fake newspapers and fake movies and stuff. And in the book, it also talks about net.art, and pretty much net.art, I think, is pretty much According to the book, it's pretty much a postmodern avant-garde born on the web in like late 90s and the 90s, thanks to like a group of artists, small group of artists, so artists from like mostly from Central and Eastern Europe. And avant-garde moment pretty much was like when the manipulating media and circulating ambiguous legends and like so the artists from the website they pretty much sort of did that. They pretty much they manipulated flaws of communication. They used to hijack stuff, hack stuff. They used to hijack users, create fake identities. They used to mix linguistic codes, and they pretty much gained access to vast number of people, vast number of audience doing all this, and they pretty much bypassed all the normal stuff that people do to like reveal art to other people. Like they hold galleries, they have like works of art museums to show people, and like they have magazines to show art to people. While this artist they use like not net.art to pretty much get an audience online, like get an audience on the internet to see all their art. Pretty much net.art or like fake identity web. Those websites like hijack and stolen with art and stuff. Ivan and Franco like did their 2001 like peace life sharing project. Is like it's very similar to nowadays social networks like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, etc. Like in all the like social networks, pretty much people share everything about themselves. They have like pictures of themselves, they have like stories about them, like what kind of things they like. You can pretty much tell what a person likes and how it's like he or she is like, and pretty much everything about them just by looking at like, their online account on the social networks. You know, you can see what they are doing each day. Like on Twitter, pretty much people like every 2-3 minutes people write what they're doing and where they're going and stuff. So pretty much tell everything about a person. That's pretty much what Ivan Franco did in their life sharing project, because they pretty much let people know where they were at all the time by the GPS tracking thing, and like they pretty much gave people access to their computers and bank accounts, everything through internet. And I thought the Ivan Franco like the portraits, avatar portraits that they were like sort of interesting. In like today's world, like everything's on internet. Nowadays, you can practically do everything on internet. You can meet like new people on internet. You can like chat with random people on internet. Like people can make themselves have like fake identities on internet now. Like they could have like fake personalities on internet, whether it's true or not. In Second Life, people sometimes make their avatars have like personalities and the features like the people want to have like their fantasies. Ivan Franco always liked the idea of fake identities. Until then, like all the work of art were in history books or like in museums or like stuff like that. So Ivan Franco made their like own place in Second Life, where their own art and their own and where they have their own art in their own gallery. They pretty much fulfill their fantasy to like have their own art gallery and their own art and stuff. And Ivan Franco's Nike ground project purpose was to show that corporations are like very powerful nowadays. Like they have a lot of money, and nowadays everything runs on money. So they have too much power. And CSLB's library was probably given money by Starbucks to have it shop in the library. CSL library is like the only library I've seen that like has commercial store in it that allows you to like eat and drink in the library. CSULB's library, university library, could like change its name to Starbucks Library because it pretty much already looks like it's a Starbucks library, but probably not a good idea because they would probably get sued by the Starbucks company for doing that, and like they got like Ivan Franco's like got sued in the book, so probably not a good idea. Overall, I liked the book. It was fun. It was alright. It was It was alright. I like the book and it's okay. So, thanks for listening to my vlog and alright, thank you and goodbye.